Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel, Conceptaholic. Our today's topic is how cells were discovered. The first time the word cell was used to refer to these tiny units of life was in 1665 by a British scientist named Robert Hooke. Hooke was one of the earliest scientists to study living things under a microscope. He discovered dead cells using early microscope. Robert Hooke discovered cells in cork. Cork is a substance which comes from the bark of a tree. When he looked at a thin slice of cork under his microscope, he was surprised to see what looked like a honeycomb. Hooke made the drawing in the figure below to show what he saw. As you can see, the cork was made up of many tiny units, which Hooke called cells. Later, Robert Hooke improved the design of the existing compound microscope in 1665. His microscope used 3 lenses and a stage light, which illuminated and enlarged the specimens. These advancements allowed Hooke to see something wondrous when he placed a piece of cork under the microscope. Hooke detailed his observations of this tiny and previously unseen world in his book, Micrographia. Then what did Anton van Leeuwenhoek discovered? Soon after Robert Hooke discovered cells in cork, Anton van Leeuwenhoek in Holland made other important discoveries using a microscope. Leeuwenhoek made his own microscope lenses, which only had a single lens, enabling it to magnify an object by around 200 to 300 times its original size. In fact, Leeuwenhoek's microscope was almost as strong as modern light microscopes. Anton van Leeuwenhoek invented the microscope because he wanted to observe living cells from the pond water. Using his microscope, Leeuwenhoek was the first person to observe bacteria and protozoa, but he called these tiny creatures animalcules. Anton van Leeuwenhoek microscope. It has a lens and focus knob here, as you can see. After this cell theory come by the early 1800s, scientists had observed the cells of many different organisms. These observations led to German scientists, named Theodor Schwann and Matthias Jakob Schleiden, to propose that cells are the basic building blocks of all living things. Theodor Schwann and Matthias Schleiden studied cells of animals and plants respectively. These scientists identified key differences between the two cell types and put forth the idea that cells were the fundamental units of both plants and animals. Around 1850, a German doctor named Rudolf Virchow was studying cells under a microscope when he happened to see them dividing and forming new cells. He realized that living cells produce new cells through division. Based on this realization, Virchow proposed that living cells arise only from other living cells. Rudolf Virchow observation. The ideas of all 3 scientists, Schwann, Schleiden, and Virchow, led to cell theory, which is one of the fundamental theories unifying all of biology. Cell theory states that all organisms are made of one or more cells. All the life functions of organisms occur within cells. All cells come from already existing cells. Discovery of genetic material in the 1880s. Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri were responsible for identifying the chromosome as the hub for heredity, forever linking genetics and cytology. Later discoveries further confirmed and solidified the role of the cell in heredity, such as James Watson and Francis Crick's studies on the structure of DNA. Now to conclude this PPT, here is the timeline. In 1665 Robert Hooke discovers the cell. In 1674 Anton von Leeuwenhoek invents the microscope. In 1838 Matthias Schleiden concludes that all plants are made of cells. In 1839 Theodor Schwann realizes that all animals are made of cells. In 1855 Rudolf Virchow theorizes that cells come from mother. Hope you understand the history of the cell. Thank you. Do you have any questions? Tell us below in comment section. Kindly like, share and subscribe. Have a good day.